1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. And we're good.
This is your show.
I don't know how to start this. How do you start a podcast? We're gonna start with this
Topic number 1. How do we start a podcast? Do we introduce ourselves? I'm Kennedy.
Okay, so that's my YouTube channel. So hey, you're talking to Pary and Kennedy. So I need to drink more of this right now. 1 minute.
This is gonna be fun. I got a Batman mug. I think it's a bowl.
It's a bat bowl.
It's a bat bowl. My hat's in the way.
I think it's fine. So this is actually really cool. I'm just staring at in the garage band the things moving up and down, which is our voice. That is awesome. So Kane just got back from a meeting because she's actually doing stuff in life, and I was here just cooking and eating and doing nothing with mine.
It's okay, I didn't do any of my homework.
Homework's boring. No one wants to do homework. No one does homework.
No one does homework.
The one person who actually does work on their stuff is like, well, what? Why? Like, don't you think after a while they just get tired of it?
No.
I
I'm thinking of a name, but I don't know if I can say his name on the podcast.
You probably shouldn't say anyone. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. All right, wait.
He does homework all the time.
He does it by himself too sometimes.
Yeah, and on Saturdays when everyone's drunk.
That's true. So what you're supposed to be doing is doing it by yourself. No one does it by themselves.
No, it's group effort. Engineering is about teamwork. So I think it's good practice to do homework with the team because it's practicing teamwork.
Engineering, it's about teamwork, but when you actually, like, people want to do better than you, when you get to, like, especially if you go to U of M, they have, like, competitive grading. Yeah. So it's like you only do well if someone else does bad, which is kind of messed up, but... So shameless plug, go to Michigan State. It's a lot better choice.
We have fun. We have a lot of fun.
We do have fun.
We do have fun.
So, speaking of fun, we're going to talk about... When was the first time you drank that you can remember? My first time drinking was here.
Ooh.
It was like... Mine was on this campus. Like, the first I can actually remember, it was my second day on this campus, too. And I may or may not have blacked out. But... I had no... Okay, because we were with... So, it was me, and one of my friends, we're gonna call him Cal for the sake of protect the innocent and in his case protect the guilty. But so it was me, him, and then one of my other friends. So he's in India now doing stuff. So we can talk about him all day. It's fine. He's the guy, by the way, who was like already a professional drinker by the time he got here. So I had no idea how to like take shots. I've never had beer, never had anything till that day. So when I got there, we went into like someone's like it was like a basement, and it was the weirdest.
Wait, where was this basement?
It was at someone's house.
Like off of Michigan or something?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, because I have a similar story.
Oh, really?
So I asked where the basement was.
Oh my gosh.
There is so my freshman year, it was me and a couple of my friends, my roommate at the time and one of my friends from high school. And we just went, we didn't know anything or anybody. We just went wandering up Michigan, like, let's find some stuff. And somehow we ended up meeting, or she introduced us to somebody that she met that was on the band or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
The MSU band?
I don't know. I don't remember this guy or who he was.
Do they drink?
I don't know.
Or is that like are they allowed to?
All I know is we went to this house and it was like sick artwork on the wall, but it was just a basement with nothing in it, like no chairs, no nothing. It was just the white walls with drawing and marks all over them. And I'm like, okay. And we did hookah, and he bought this cheap alcohol and it just didn't agree with my stomach.
Oh yeah, I had
plus hookah. I don't like hookah.
I had hookah too, and yeah. So before college, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink. I'm not gonna say I didn't do anything bad. I did steal one of my teacher's car once for a joyride. Like I didn't actually steal it. Oh like I just drove it around. Look, we'll talk about that later. But the thing about it is,
you gave it back.
I never left the parking lot.
So you borrowed it.
Yeah, so
right in the parking lot.
All right, so we're already here. So what? So what happened was she gave me her keys, and she was like, all right, so I forgot something in my car. Could you go get this really quick? And then she was like, who wants to do it? Like an idiot, I was like, oh, I want to do it. I really didn't. I just wanted to get selected for something, just so whatever. So I got to this car. It was a nice car too. Like I think I was a sophomore. You're right. I was a sophomore, and I remember this teacher too because she hated, like, she quoted like herself, and she's like, students are the bane of my existence. She was a chemistry teacher, and no one liked her. So I don't know why she gave me the keys to her car. It was a nice ass car too. Like, it was like a Camaro or something, and like a really nice one. So obviously I don't have a driver's license yet, and nothing at that time. But I was like, man, I just want to drive it, like just to hear, because like I've sat in one in an auto show, but I've never actually like driven a Camaro before. So I just drove it like around the parking lot, and after a while, like I get people were like, because like, you can see the windows in our school, and kids are like up on the windows like this, and they're just like staring, and I was like, wait, what the hell is going on? And finally, like, I parked the car, and I see the teacher waiting for me by the door of the school to come back in. And I was like, shit. I like what she sent me to get was like a binder or a folder. I didn't even get it. I just sat in the driver's seat and started moving.
Wow, that was her fault, though.
I was wondering why.
I blame her.
Why would you trust?
Why would you give a 15-year-old the keys to your car and say, "Hey, here"?
It's a nice ass car too.
Exactly. You don't do that. You don't do that in Detroit. You can't do that in Detroit. Your car won't be there.
Did you know? Okay, I went for a job interview, and I'm not gonna say where it was, but there's like a huge like plant site, right? Mm-hmm. And like you have to drive cars to go in between buildings. And, like, one of the legal requirements of that area is that you have to leave the car unlocked with the keys, like, inside the ignition. I'm just like, could you imagine doing that anywhere else? Oh, shit.
That's our camera guy.
So let's go with that. This microphone is so sensitive that you can, when I'm playing it, and, like, you can hear people outside, even if you're up on, I'm a few floors up right now, and I can hear people, like, downstairs in the parking lot. And I can hear him getting out of the car.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't look. I mean, I did not set it that way. That's just how it turned out to be. Where was I? I don't know where I was going. Oh yeah, like alcohol.
Yeah.
But that's how we deviated. So I did not know how to do anything, and I remember this girl too, because she was very good looking. Let's just put it that way. She had huge tits. All right, so that was the first. That was the only thing that I cared about, and she came over, and she had 3 shots in her hand, and she was like, all right, here you go. And she gave me 2, and she had 1. So she was like, all right, you do 1, I'll do 1, you do 1. And I had never done a shot before, so I was holding it, and I didn't even know what the drinks were. Like an idiot, I smelled it before I drank it, and I'm like, this is bad. This is going to be horrible. And I actually, like, when I took the first shot, I was, like, sipping it like a cup. I didn't take it, like, all at once. And I swear I almost threw up in that moment. It was so bad. Years later, I found out that was Everclear.
Oh my gosh.
It's horrible.
Oh.
It tastes like straight oil.
Yo.
And then the next shot I remember, it was Fireball. Because everyone on this campus just loves it.
Yeah, I think that was everyone's freshman drink, Fireball.
And I don't know why, but I have both. And I was like, why do people like alcohol? Like, why is this such a great thing in the world? Like, 5 minutes later, I was like, hey! I lit up. I was like, you know what? We should get more of this stuff. And then we just had people, like, giving us drinks. And then finally one guy was like, hey, are you guys freshmen? We're like, who, me? No. They found out very quickly that we were lying, and they're going to kick us out and stuff. So we ended up walking, like, all the way from, like, Michigan Ave to Cedar Village. And we just found another group of our friends. And we just went to another apartment, and we just kept drinking.
These stories are taking me back to so many moments that I just buried in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is like, you don't want to relive this stuff. But
no.
I remember the first time, like, when I was drinking, I made the crucial mistake of, like I said, I didn't know this back then, but don't mix light and dark liquor. Oh, I mixed everything that day.
Ew.
Like, we started off with, first of all, Everclear. Oh, God. We started off with that. And then we had Fireball, and then we had, like that's what we had over there. We had, like, maybe 4 or 5 shots of it. I didn't know my limit. Like a fool, I kept drinking. And over here, this is when I had, like, Captain Morgan for, like, the first time. I for some reason, I didn't throw up, but I got a bloody nose. And I didn't know why I got that, because I went up, like this girl took us up to her apartment. It was like me and like my two friends. She was like, okay, so these people are going to die if we just let them stay here. So we went up to her apartment, and I'm barely in sync with what's going on. My two friends are gone. Like, I've never just seen people just so gone. Like, the words cannot describe. Like, one of them just, like, when they walked in, they sat on the couch and just didn't move for the next day. He just didn't stand up, didn't, like, it wasn't like lying. He was sitting like this, like upright on the couch. He slept like that. There was loud music playing. People coming in and out of the apartment. That man did not move.
Did you ever see the girl again?
Actually, I see her all the time. Like, she's one of my best friends now.
That's a nice way to make a best friend.
I know. Like, when I finally like woke up, I started how this whole alcohol thing happens is you get memories back like in shifts. It doesn't come back all at once.
Nope.
But like when it comes back, you're like, so what happened that day? And you're like, oh, that happened that day. It's never like you just all of a sudden 2 hours later, it's like the whole night plays out. No, you get like small segments, and you finally got to put them all together in your head. And when I got a small segment in my head, what I remembered was like a bunch of girls just feeding me food. And I was like, man, I must have been having some dream that day. And when I woke up, they finally like it's on a, like, it's not on video, but there were people taking pictures of it. I was sitting, my head was down, and there were like 4 or 5 girls just around me, and like I just remember like it was like grapes, strawberries, and they gave me water and stuff. And no one believes the story except for the people who were there. That's one of the reasons that we're such good friends. Is because she's like, no one's gonna believe you. I'm like, I know. But that was my first time drinking, and I pretty much woke up with 5 girls around me feeding me grapes and strawberries. It was phenomenal.
I'm not gonna say how old I was, but one of the first times that I got really drunk was off of 11 shots of 1800.
Oh my gosh. 11
shots.
1800, by the way, that shit will mess you up.
Yeah, but see, I love tequila. I love tequila to death. I'm a dark drinker. I love dark alcohol, but Patron has won my heart in the last year. And then the first alcohol that I actually got drunk off of was the 1800. So we were actually at Motor City at the hotel downtown.
Motor City Casino and Hotel. That's how they advertise it every time.
Doesn't matter. That's where we were.
How'd you get in?
We were at the hotel. So my friend had a birthday party there. And it was like her 16th or 15th. She was like 16 or something like that. Birthday party. So it was a big group of us. It was a large age range and things like that at the party. So, I mean, I think the oldest person there was like 28, 29. So, yeah, wow. It was a ton of us.
That's double the birthday girl's age.
So, but it's like, you know, people she's known her whole lives and grew up with and stuff like that. That's why the age varied and whatever. But we were playing some drinking game. I don't know what it was, but I sucked at it. And that's how I ended up taking 11 shots of 1800. And so Motor City has this store downstairs in the lobby. And for some reason, I started craving Mentos. Like the little fruity Mentos.
Okay.
That's how I know I'm drinking tequila, or 1800 at least, because I start craving Mentos.
Every time?
Yeah, every time now. This was the first time. And we went downstairs to the lobby and went to the store. I bought some Mentos. By the time we got back up to the room, I'd eaten the whole pack of Mentos. So I had to make another trip downstairs to get the Mentos. Because I wanted to sit in the room and enjoy it. And
you got to snack on it while you're up there.
Exactly. But I'd eaten it all. So I had to go back
on the way back.
Yeah, like on the way, like from the lobby to the elevator upstairs to the room. I'd eaten.
You must have been hungry. Like
I don't know what was going on. I just wanted Mentos. So we left back out. I didn't have shoes on this time. I remember this because when we got to the lobby, as a group of us, mind you, we got to the lobby and security guard said, you have to have shoes on down here. And my drunk self turns around like, who doesn't have shoes on? And I was like trying to figure out who didn't have shoes on. And I looked down and I'm like, oh, I'm in socks. So I had to go back upstairs and get some flip-flops and come back down and get the Mentos. And it was hilarious. But
who doesn't have shoes on?
I didn't realize I was the one that didn't have shoes on. That's how drunk I was. It was so terrible. But that was my first time actually really getting drunk. I don't black out. I'm usually that friend that tells everybody, like, yeah, you were tripping last night. Let me tell you what happened. And it's crazy because, like, I don't know, especially being in college, I don't trust drinking to the point where I black out. I'm like, I have to be coherent enough to know what's going on around me. So I'm usually that friend that's like, yeah, I can tell you everything that happened. I might miss a few parts, like not a major like evening, but I'll miss probably like 5 minutes. I'll forget about something that had happened. Like, if I have a conversation with somebody really quick and I'm not really paying attention to the conversation and we're just talking, I'll forget the next day like we even had the conversation. But if they bring it back up, I'm like, oh, I do kind of remember that conversation. Yep. But everything else I can remember like the night. So, yeah.
Have you ever woke up and like, because I've had moments like where like I've been to parties and I don't remember like hitting something or like falling, and I'll just wake up with like the biggest pain like in my hip or my knee or something. I'm like, how? And the one time I remember was that I don't know what frat house this actually was, but this is look, this is a different time in my life, people. Okay, but we were at this frat party, and it was me and actually one of the same people who got like just completely wasted with. But we went to this place, and I don't remember falling down the stairs, but like I just remember like waking up, and I was like everything hurt, and I broke one of the stairs because it was like a wooden staircase, like it was outside the house, and it was like maybe like 6-7 steps, like it wasn't that big of a staircase, but the way that my friends described it was like I was like running to get out, and I guess I tripped, and like all my weight just fell on my ass and slammed against one of the wooden things, and it just like went down, and I was like, shit, it hurt so bad too. Like when I woke up, I didn't feel it in the moment, but it sucked.
I fell down the stairs once, but I wasn't drunk.
You were sober? Fell down the stairs?
Completely sober. It was dark, and for some reason they had the little cowboy doors. It was like my mom's friend's house, and they had like the cowboy doors to the stairs. I don't know who has those type of doors.
To stairs?
Yes, stairs. It was like stairs, the stairwell, and they got the little pushy cowboy doors.
Was it like baby-proof it or?
No. Oh, I don't know why they had those. It didn't even match the scheme of the house. So I don't know.
Random stairs, but.
And so I'm thinking, okay, this is a hallway that I'm about to go into, or a room or something. So I'm feeling around. I walk through the doors, and next thing I know, I'm tumbling down the stairs, like flipping and everything. Tailbone hit the steps, and oh man, I bruised my tailbone. It was so terrible, and I twisted my foot. So I never went to the bathroom. I just went up the stairs, and I found my mom, and I said, Mom, I hurt myself. I was a clumsy kid, a really clumsy kid, so...
I was a bad kid growing up. I was horrible. I didn't like drink or like do drugs, but I did. So I used to drag race, and like I used to, not only that, but because we all thought that we were really cool doing this back in the day until we realized how like someone got arrested, and we were like, okay, well, damn. And now looking back at it, I can't drive down those same roads. Like knowing that I'm like, oh my gosh, like because this was like on John R. Road, and this is at like maybe like 1 a.m. or like midnight or something like that. And every time I drive down like certain areas, I'm like, wow. The thing is, I'm going 40 right now. I used to go like 100, and we would just go from like one end to like the other end. And I couldn't now that like I actually drive places, I'm like I was just the dumbest person in the world for going that fast. There was no reason either. I'm just like, man, I don't see how. Like I just wanted to drive a car fast. It didn't actually matter where or when or anything. We never got into any accidents, and we never like the person who got arrested wasn't even for that. Like they got arrested because I guess they were smoking weed, and I guess the cops like followed them or something like that, and like they finally found all of us. But like I didn't know that the cops. I did not see them. I just got a text from someone saying, "Hey, stay home tonight." And I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Because the cops are here." I'm like, "Okay, I'll stay home." But parents had no idea that I would just leave the house. And yeah, if my parents want, they're gonna learn a lot about me. And, like I would just leave out of like, because we had like sliding doors in my backyard, and I would just leave out those back doors, just walk around my backyard, go get to the car, and leave. I was a bad, horrible child. But I can't think of.
I will not incriminate myself on this podcast.
Horrible mistakes were made.
I think when we were younger, we didn't really care or think about us getting in trouble, so we didn't care about the consequence. So a lot of us did stuff, stupid stuff. Because I can go on and on about the dumb things that I did when I was younger. But if my mom watches this, and she's gonna know who it was. And I don't want her to know, so I'm just not gonna say it. But yeah, we did a lot of stupid stuff. And my mom was the type, she loved kids, so we always had kids over, always had people over at the house. Just a house full all the time. And yeah, I mean, we were always getting into something. I remember one time we convinced my mom to go out on a date with this guy who she later on ended up dating for a few years.
You set your mom up with a date?
Yeah, so the only reason is because we wanted the house to ourselves. And it was like my two older god sisters, and at the time they were like 16 and 15. And then there was me, and I think you met my best friend before. She was there. And who else was there? Oh, and my cousin. My cousin was there. So it's a house full of females, and we're like, no, we want the house to ourselves, yada, yada, yada. So my mom didn't want to go out with them. He was really nice, and she ended up going out on a date with them. She wasn't gone for no more than about 20 minutes.
That was a short date.
No. The reason why is because she didn't trust us. She said when she turned around, I had
smart woman.
She said, I had a bad feeling, so I turned around. I had him turn the car around.
Oh, my God.
And when she walked in the door, we had some random guy from down the street that was like apparently a security guard or something in the house because my god sister had locked herself in some handcuffs. Don't ask where the handcuffs came from, but what? She locked herself. She was playing in handcuffs, and she locked her hands in handcuffs.
She has a key?
No. Like, she just had handcuffs that she found and locked herself in them. So there was that. And then the rest of us were downstairs trying to have a cooking show. And we kind of ruined my mom's dryer because we tried to do it on the dryer. We just putting all types of little random stuff in the cup.
Trying to cook on the dryer.
Yeah, we were trying to. We weren't really cooking, but we was just like doing stupid stuff. I had a potato for like some stuff on it, set it on fire, just all types of stuff.
Set a potato on fire.
Yeah, one of my friends put potatoes in the dryer. It was just all bad, and my mom was heated. And all that within the first 20 minutes of her being gone. So can you imagine if she would have stayed out the entire night? Because we literally, like, didn't know this guy. Some random guy in her house is like, my god sister's like, well, he's a security guard, so I think he has a key. So she had him come down there because she thought he had a key to, you know. And
how'd you find him?
He lived down the block. Like, he lived a couple houses down. He was new to the neighborhood, but everyone would see him. He was very polite, but he wore a security guard uniform. And so it was somebody's bright idea, I don't remember whose, to call him and see if he had a key for the handcuffs. So he came down there because he had a key, but we didn't know if it was going to work. And so while he was trying to get the handcuffs off of her, my mom walks in. And so you can imagine that doesn't look right? You have this really grown man and then your 16-year-old goddaughter in the
handcuffs.
House in handcuffs. And so my mom just started flipping out, and oh my gosh, we didn't hear the end of it. To this day, she never lets us live it down. Like, she didn't trust leaving us at the house by ourselves anymore.
Well, you set a potato on fire on the dryer.
But it doesn't matter. She had to get a new dryer too. We ruined the dryer. It was so bad. We just did stupid stuff. We didn't care.
Every time you dry clothes it's gonna be like, man, did you smell that? It smells like potatoes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
You know what else is really... Do you remember, like, the first date you ever went on? Ever?
The first date?
First date ever.
Okay, I think I do. The first real date I've ever been on.
Do you remember how old you were?
I was like 16 or 15.
I think I was like 15, maybe around that age. Like the first like real actual, it's like, all right, let's go somewhere, like just me and you. Like, apparently the guy had to pay, so
I would hope so.
Pay for that. Well, I mean, I did. It wasn't. But yeah, so I had I was hanging with this girl from like freshman year of high school all the way to like senior year of high school. Whereas like I don't think we were officially called it like dating, but we were pretty much like every weekend that I would spend with her like all the time. And she actually came over to my house one time. I'll go over hers. It was like actually for an Indian person to let a white girl in. That was, yeah, like she actually came inside the house, like my mom's house, wow. And she was like, wow, so there's a billion of us, and you found this one. As it turns out, that wasn't, because for whatever reason, my mom knows everything, so I couldn't actually lie to her about it. I was like, so Mom, I'm going on a date, and she was like, all right, with who? Well. With a female, and it's like I had to get all the information, but the date itself went fine. I remember we were at I I don't think it was half restaurant, half like it. I don't want to say bowling because this thing had like 2 bowling alleys. It wasn't a bowling alley. Yeah, like there was like 2 bowling alleys. There was like an arcade room. There was like a restaurant all in like one building. I don't actually know what the name of that stuff is. But we went there because she was like, I never been there before. We should go. I had no idea how to like. I've never been on a date before. So before we make any judgments here of any kind, never done this. And when I got there, I didn't even know that a guy had to pay the first time. I knew nothing. I had zero knowledge of anything, right? Because my parents, they never dated. Like, my parents had an arranged marriage. So I never had any background about how to date someone, how to talk to them, how to, like, nothing.
Wow.
Like, for them, it was, like, it was love at first arrangements.
How? Wow.
So, yeah, I did not know anything about dating, and literally no one could tell me anything. The only advice I got was from my friends who was like, yeah, you should bring her home. I'm like, how am I gonna, what? Like, no. I'm 15. I don't have, like, I had to have my dad drop me off. And I had to lie to him about it, too. I was like, oh, I'm meeting a friend. Who? Rahul. Good. That's what actually happened. So when I got there, and so we started eating, and then like how that works is like you can eat, and then you can like go for the bowling and arcade, and like you have like a little plastic card, and at the end of the night you give them the plastic card, and however much like money is charged on it, you pay at the very, very end. So we did that, and we ate, bowling, arcade. Finally got to the plastic card, and she gave it to him, and he was like, all right, your total, it was like $20-something or whatever. And I was like, all right. It was the longest pause of my life. Because she looked at me, and I, like, just like this, like, she's looking at me, I'm looking back at her, and I started to pull out a 10 out of my wallet. And then she's still looking at me, and I was like, okay. So I put the 10 on the counter right there in front of the guy. And then she has not said a word yet. And I think like the clerk, like the guy who was actually doing that, he's like, do you have another 10? I was like, sure. Not knowing I had to pay for her, right? And I was actually upset. I went home and I was like, I paid for all of that and nothing. And then my mom finally was like, is that what they do here? And she's like, that kind of makes sense though. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I remember, like, the girl I was with, she was just perplexed. Because her parents met in, like, a tradition, like, you date, you get to know somebody, and then something happens, right? Me, I was like, yeah, so I only ate this, so am I paying for your stuff, too? It was the dude who was just, like, he looked at me, he was like, yo, like, give another 10, like...
Like, I'm gonna help you out.
I know, he tried his best, too, but I was like, so, I flat out said it, I'm like, am I paying for it? And she didn't say anything. She just stared at me. I'm surprised she still hung out with me after that. But that was my first date experience. My
first real date, I don't even remember where we went. He probably does, because he's still one of my good friends to this day. But
how did he ask you? I'll say how I asked her. It was horrible.
He didn't ask me. He told me.
Oh, he told you?
He told me.
He just said, we are going. Like, be ready.
Yeah, I think...
Ooh, wow.
He was a couple years older than me. And I met him during his senior year, and it was like my sophomore year of high school. And he was pretty cool. I met him after he graduated is when we got a bit closer. And so he told me, because he never asked. He just said, I want to take you out. Okay. So,
that's it? Just all right?
Okay. I can't believe I don't remember where we went. But I remember he was late. Like, he was extremely late to pick me up. And my dad my mom's in the kitchen. She's fine with it and stuff. My dad was, like, pissed. He was like, this guy's supposed to be taking you out, and he can't even be on time, and yada, yada, yada. Like, he's just going
He picked you up from your house?
Yeah, he picked me up from my house, because my dad was not about to let me go out with somebody without meeting him first. So that was just not about to happen. Because I can get kidnapped or anything. And then my dad's like, I don't know who she was with or where she was. He wasn't having it. So he's like, no, he's picking you up from here, and he needs to do that. So he finally shows up after being like 35 minutes late or something. And my dad opens the door, and he's holding like a thing of flowers. Oh, so he was late because he was trying to find a bouquet of flowers.
I mean, isn't that cute though?
It was really cute. Yeah. I just can't believe I don't remember where we went. If you're watching this, you know where we went. I don't remember.
Honestly, I'm gonna use that. Like, if I'm ever late for anything, I'm just gonna be like, hey, so but I got you. Like if you're late, show up with something.
Yeah, the only reason that he got away with that is because I was into him, so he just said, yeah, we're going out, and I'm like, okay. But I don't do that with anybody. Like some guy just walk up to me like, yeah, I like you, we're going out. I would be like, no.
That wouldn't work on you now at all.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, back then I was young, and like I said, I had a crush on him, so I was just okay. Really giddy. But no, that would not work nowadays.
Was it a fun date?
It was, because I mean, to this day we're still cool. The thing that kind of drew us apart is he ended up going to the service. So he ended up going to the Navy, and we kind of lost touch when he went to the Navy. And one time, like at some point, he came back to visit. So we just remained friends after that. But we've been friends since my sophomore year of high school. So it's been a long time.
That's high school. It doesn't seem like it was that long, but it's been a long time.
It has. I'm like looking back on how long you've known somebody, it just time just flies. But yeah, I don't think I even asked her. I've never actually asked a girl out on a date. So how would you ask a girl out on a date?
How would I?
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, I've had my friends ask me advice on it, but the way that I think an awesome idea for a first date is if you go to like a zoo or an aquarium or something like that. I think that's an amazing idea for a first date. Because for one thing, I mean, it's like everyone likes a zoo, and there's there was like a mall. What is it? Great Lakes Crossing, something like that. There's like an aquarium in there now.
Yeah.
So if I had to ask a girl out, I'd probably take her there.
But how would you ask her out?
How would I do it? I don't know. I've never done it. That's the weird part. I've had 2 serious girlfriends, right? And both times that's fine. But both times I can't actually remember what I said to I don't know. I guess there was one girl who I don't know if you call this asking her out. But I was like this does not count at all. But I guess it was I was 21 and drinking a lot, and we were at the bar, and I was leaving, and I was like, hey, so tomorrow we should go out and get something to eat. And then she was like, yeah, we should do that.
I remember. Is that IHOP?
Yeah, it was IHOP. Yeah,
I remember that.
That was IHOP. That's where I was like, does that count asking a girl out?
I mean, you asked, yeah.
Like that. Okay, I was
asked to get something to eat with her.
Is that all I would need?
Eating is out.
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess it depends on where you want to take it. You want to get to know her. Okay, do you want to go out to eat? Eating is a good first date, or it's good for something that's just strictly platonic. Like, because you can just eat, chill, have a good time. Or you can see if you vibe enough to where you're like, okay, I actually see myself taking you out again or going somewhere again. Me, for a first date, I want to do something fun. Like, I have to see how you interact with people. So I want to do something that's like, let's go ice skating or regular roller skating or go-kart racing or something like that. Like, I want to see how you are, not just with me, but like in a competitive type of environment, or laser tag, stuff like that. I want to do something fun. You know what's
the best advice that I get? Okay, and when I say this, I'm telling you out of my heart. When people ask me what's your best dating advice, my honest to God best dating advice, right? If you have a girlfriend or even a boyfriend, this works for that too. The best thing you could ever do is bring them food. Yeah. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't even just if you know what they like to eat, bring them food. Yes. That'll get more done for you than hey, we should go here. Flowers is nice, but bring them food for whatever. That's just the biggest advice I can give anybody. You bring them food. Okay, so do you prefer food that's home cooked or food that's brought? Okay, see, I didn't look that deep into it. I didn't think about all that. What would you prefer? Somebody bring you a home cooked meal, or do you not care? Well, that's is it the gift that counts or the thought that counts? Because if you are not good at cooking, but if you cook it yourself, then that seems really cute. But for me, it's the gift that counts. It's I just want to eat something good. Yeah. Okay, I get that. I have nothing against, because it just my ex-girlfriend, who the most recent one, who I actually dated here in Michigan State, she could not cook to save her life. Oh. And I don't know what it was, but she did bring up a few times. She's like, yeah, I'll totally cook for you. And she's like, can I use your kitchen? And I was like, no. You can't do that.
What?
Because I've seen, okay, like, for one thing, a microwave is not hard to use. Like, I'm not saying that she cooked with a microwave, but she has, like, the microwave in her apartment, it broke.
Yeah, I was about to say I know someone who broke a microwave.
And I was like, how?
I don't know.
I don't understand. So I was like, if you broke a microwave, I don't trust you with an oven.
Oh, no. Yeah,
I don't know what you would do to it. Like, I don't know if you're going to put a potato in it, set it on fire.
It didn't catch on fire, thank you.
I thought you said you set it on fire.
That's how you know I'm awesome, because I put a potato in a dryer and it didn't catch on fire.
Does stuff catch on fire in a dryer?
Oh, yeah, if you don't clean the lint trap.
Damn, I don't think I've cleaned the lint trap ever.
Okay.
That's not a good sign at all. You know something? Okay, like something also about dating. How would you like to be approached if someone was to ask you out on a date? Like, let's say like you met this person, and like, so if I was a guy and I was interested in you, how would you want me to approach you and ask you out?
I like assertive people, like not.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's like, I'm taking you out, and you're like, sure.
Yeah.
Most guys don't have that confidence.
Yeah. Okay. So he can ask me, but don't say, well, what do you want to do? I hate what do you want to do type person.
Yeah.
Plan something. Like, I can, if we talk and I tell you things that I like to do or my interests, based on that alone, you should be able to say, okay, I want to take you here. Like, I like things like, let's go to a coffee shop and just talk. Let's go to the park and walk, or go on a picnic. Like, you know, we can do something simple. It doesn't have to be an expensive date. Just
it's food.
Anything.
Food is consistent with all these things.
Anything that will allow us to talk and get to know each other, I am all for. But I don't like someone who says, oh, do you want to go to the movies, or what do you want to do?
So you want someone who's decisive.
Yeah, like, tell me what we're gonna do, basically. And if I don't agree with it or I don't like it, I'll oppose it, and then you just come up with something else. But it's a lot simpler than people make it. You just gotta be creative. Like, you have to know
what you want.
Yeah, what you want to do with this person. You're like, okay, I want to take you out, but I don't know where. Like, so what do you want to do? Like, no. You gotta tell me. Tell me what I want to do. And if I don't want to do it, then I'm probably gonna say no. But still. Well,
yeah, I mean, I'd rather someone say no than say like leave you like on a hook. That's like, yeah, we could, and like nothing happens for a while, because like that's worse than just saying no. Like it'll feel bad in the moment when you ask a girl out and she's like, no, I don't want to, but it's gonna be a lot better than if she says, yeah, we should, yeah, maybe, possibly, could, like, because that's just petty at that point. Like, she's leading you on for nothing.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I've done that to somebody, but I've done that to somebody, and I've done it.
I've done it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I've done it.
Both horrible people.
I'm a horrible texter. I'm sorry.
Is that the same thing? Because I'm not good at texting either.
Yeah.
But you are a horrible texter.
People have asked me to go out via text, and I'll open it and then get distracted, and then like.
No, I mean, if you're gonna ask a girl out, you should ask her like face to face. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It could be someone I know, but that's probably why they don't get a response out of me.
Do you know what I've noticed is that like how you ask a girl out is like different now, because I've actually like seen firsthand like people at Harper's, like when Harper's is a bar, by the way, for the people who don't know what Harper's is, and some people don't know what Harper's is. So like when I've seen like guys ask girls out and they get like offended by it, and like they don't ask them like do anything like crazy, like, hey, like do you want to go to like I don't know, just somewhere to eat, like something just like that's pretty standard, but I don't know, because the reason I ask like how do you ask a girl out is because some girls are actually like taken aback, as in like why do you think you get to take me somewhere? I don't know, it's a whole feminist thing that I just don't understand. That there are some people who believe it's offensive to call a girl pretty, because that's like condescending in some way.
I think cute is condescending.
Why?
I hate when people call me cute. I'm not cute. Puppies are cute. Clothes and outfits are cute.
Puppies are cute.
People are not cute. People are pretty, adorable, beautiful, things like that, you know? And so when someone says, yeah, you're cute, I'm like, no, I'm not. Thanks.
You just say, no, I'm not.
I either don't respond or I say, no, I'm not. I think it's, no.
I've got into a horribly, like, for no reason. Like, it was a pointless argument with somebody that I was caught off guard because this girl, like, she was absolutely gorgeous, and I was talking to her the entire night, and then we ended up going out together to the bars, like her friends and my friends, and like I wanted to ask her out, so I guess that's how I didn't ask her out in the sense of like, hey, we should, like, what do you want to do? It was more just like, hey, after like 2 a.m. do you want to go get food? It wasn't like that was my way of asking her out. I didn't think it was that bad, but she took it way offensively. I don't understand why.
Really?
But why? I was like, I was hungry. I was like, look, I'm going to go get food. You want to come with me?
Okay, I get that. I understand why you don't find it offensive because it was completely harmless. But if she didn't know you that well to say, hey, after 2 a.m., let's go do something. It doesn't matter if it was getting food or not. It's kind of like, really?
The bars were closing at 2 a.m. We were
exactly.
Like, I don't know. Really, is that? Oh, shit. Because we were like together like till 2 a.m. from that day. We met at like lunchtime. That's why I was like, shit, like, do you want food after this? Because I am. And then she was just like crazy, but she wasn't so much off put as like what I asked her to do. It was more of just like, to be honest, I don't actually know the deep explanation of it, but she gave me like a good long lecture. I thought she was like drunk. I thought I was out of it too. She sobered up very fast. And she gave me a very long lecture about how you're supposed to behave with women. I'm like, I didn't see myself as being that offensive.
But a lot of guys don't. Like, a lot of guys might say something and it can be completely harmless, but it can come off or it does seem offensive.
Like cute?
Yeah, like cute.
Okay, now that I say it out loud, it does sound, it's not demeaning, but it's not
terrible.
It's
you don't call it, especially not a grown woman. You do not call a grown woman cute.
What about pretty?
Pretty is okay. I don't think anything is wrong with pretty. Pretty, gorgeous, beautiful. Like I said, I don't see anything wrong with those. But cute, we call puppies cute.
Because they are cute.
Animals and pandas. When I think of cute.
Oh, pandas are so cute.
Exactly. So I'm not a panda.
Well, I mean, that would be horrible.
Exactly. Don't call me a panda. Think of it like that. Don't call a girl a panda.
You know, it's funny because we have a really good friend who we actually call him Panda.
Panda. Hey, Panda.
I know, if you're watching this, we love you, buddy.
What's up, Panda? Him and his lady panda. They're so adorable.
You can't call a girl Lady Panda.
Well, he's Mr. Panda. She's like Mrs. Panda, but she doesn't look like a panda. She just gets the name because
she's gorgeous and beautiful and pretty. And if she's watching, I've had horrible experiences with that girl. Like, she hates me by now. She definitely does.
Really?
She has to.
Oh.
She has to hate me, and it's so we hit. All right, here we go. Every time that I've had contact with her, it hasn't gone well. Not initially. Like, so one of the times we were all going to beat ups together, and
of course,
I love beat ups. So one of our friends was like driving us there, okay. And for him, like, when he has like Bluetooth in the car, like the whole car speaks, right? Like whenever he's on the phone, so everyone can hear him. Now he called me and he was like, "All right, so I'm coming by your apartment. Just like be ready to get out so I can come get you." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And all I hear is like I hear people in the back, but I don't know who they are, and I hear like 3 or 4 girls, and I was just like, "Damn!" I was like, "Hey, bro, like." I was like, "Do you have bitches in the car with you?" And I hear her voice. She's like, "No, Pary, it's me." I was like, "Oh my gosh." And there was another girl who went there and she was like, "Pary, I'm here too." I'm like, "Well, why didn't y'all say anything?" Because in the past, when he has picked me up, there have been respectable women in the car who go out with us.
You're gonna get him cussed out.
So when I say, yeah.
You just ruined his relationship.
I know.
Congratulations.
I know. But when I say it, okay, well, it wasn't. Wait, hold on. Wait, let me clarify. It wasn't like our friend who was dating her. It was, actually, I'll say it was like a mutual friend of ours. So the guy she's currently dating, he wasn't in the car, but like like one of his close friends who knew them very well. It was just a bad situation. That was one of them. When I met this girl, this was before they were dating. When I met her, it was even worse because I was talking to the guy it was a very good friend of mine. I was talking to Panda about the girl over there, and I was like, man, she like. I was like, if you look at it, I said she has a solid rack, and I said that in the nicest way possible. I didn't actually. I said it in confidence. And, okay, I didn't say it out loud because he was. I'm not gonna say what he was saying. But like we were talking back and forth about just like random people, and I was like, "What about her?" And then he was like, "She seems like she's very pretty too." And that's when I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna ask her out."
You tried to ask Panda's girlfriend.
I did not ask Panda's girlfriend out because I realized as every time I left, I came back, he was talking to her. So I was like, okay, well, he does not talk to girls like that at all. I'm someone who has a very vulgar mouth, and I'm horrible with this stuff. But if I'm actually on a date with you, I wouldn't say any of these things. But if I'm just like, if it's just like on the side, I could care less because I'm probably never gonna see the girl ever again. It just so happens that this girl I see all the time. This was a bad situation. I was not a good person in this case.
Yeah, she probably hates you.
She has to, but every time she sees me, she's the most polite person in the world. And I was like,
justified if she hates you.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all, and I don't understand like why she still talks to me. Like every time I see her, I'm always like, "Hey," and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Why are you being so nice?"
Maybe she's just a genuinely nice person.
I don't know. I don't like that.
She is.
No, I know she is, but I was like, I just hate the fact that she's like, why? Like
Is that mean to you?
Yeah, I was like, why are you so nice to me? I never understood that, but I don't. So what I've learned is that the way that I talk to people, like, well, you're different, but if I'm actually like on a date with somebody, and I do this subconsciously, is like I just keep going until I find out like where my limit is, like what I can talk about, and like when she gets offended, so I'm like, okay, so I can only talk to this much because I don't know where I built this habit from, but this is probably just where I'm really bad at dating, and it's gone. Like I actually wrote a joke about it too, like one of my stand-up sets when. Like, I had a Muslim girlfriend, and I called her the bomb. I didn't mean it in any sort of harsh, harmful way.
How did she take that?
Very bad. Very, very offensively.
I bet she did. You're horrible at this.
Okay. Like, when I said that, I said it, like, in a good way. Because, like, I don't remember, like, what the situation was. But, like, she did something, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you're the bomb for doing that. Like, and like in a thumbs up, like, you're awesome kind of thing. She did not take it that way at all.
Did she break up with you?
I don't think she broke up with me, but we definitely stopped talking after that.
So you're still in a relationship?
I guess so. We haven't signed the papers yet.
Still in a relationship.
I haven't, and I think the bad part is like she's a family friend. I don't see her that often, like thankfully. But when this did happen. It was like at like a family dinner. Like I didn't say it at dinner, but like I said it like before we all started eating. I don't think she's talked to me since. She's like seen me here and there, and she like just to like be cordial with me or cordial, whatever that word is. Cordial. See, that's why I'm not like that with people. That's why I don't know what the word means. But I haven't spoken to her in 6-7 years.
Wow.
I didn't mean it like that. The fact that she was Muslim and I called her the bomb, it didn't like, because I didn't think about it like that.
I understand.
I didn't, you know what I mean?
She didn't.
No, she definitely thought about it in a type of way.
She did not. I think it's kind of funny.
She's a great person. So we are running out of time, so before I'm going to leave it at this, I can tell you the worst story that I've heard from somebody, like a breakup story, and it was I think one of my very, very close friends, and he goes to U of M right now. I don't know why, but he did. So he broke up, and this was his second girlfriend, and it just so happened like the first girl that he dated joined the sorority of which the second girl was currently in.
Oh. So
they knew each other. Oh. Like after it was like a year after they broke up, he got together with this new girl, and he did not know that they actually knew each other. And I guess what happened was like he invited her to go on a double date, and she's like, "Yeah, I have a friend. We should all go together." And they showed up at Olive Garden, and I was like, "Bro, this is bad. This is bad." And he was texting me the whole way. He's like, "You, my ex-girlfriend, remember her?" I was like, "Yeah, what happened to her?" Like, "She's right here in front of me eating chicken."
Wait, she ordered chicken at Olive Garden?
I remember chicken, yeah.
Why would she order chicken at the fact that was the only thing?
Yeah, I know. Everything else.
That's not important now. Chicken at Olive Garden.
It was him, the current girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, and this poor guy on the side who has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And he broke up with like the current girlfriend that day.
Why?
Because I don't know the exact like scenario of what happened, but I know how we ended it. Now this isn't funny, but it made me laugh. So this is his second girlfriend, and he's like, you know what? I can't do this. The sequels are never as good as the first one. And that's how he ended it.
That is so evil.
I thought that was one of the worst things you could say to anybody.
That's so mean. I mean, it's true, but that was
I know.
so mean. You don't say that about a girlfriend because half the time
you don't say that about anybody.
The first person, if you broke up with the first person, obviously they weren't good enough because you found someone else. So that wasn't valid.
No, I don't know how we thought about it because they were arguing and like mid argument that came to his mind.
That's so rude. What did she do?
I don't know. I don't remember her reaction. I just remember like they broke up after that.
I would think so.
Oh hell yeah! Like
basically just said, yeah, my first girlfriend is so much better than you.
Like she's the bomb.
She's the bomb. Who loves chicken from Olive Garden?
I like chicken. I never had chicken from Olive Garden.
Exactly. Who has chicken? Like who's had chicken from Olive Garden?
We have chicken right here, so I'm gonna end this on that note. We're gonna go eat chicken now. But thank you guys for watching this. I appreciate it. And stay fresh, stay golden.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
That was fun.
That was so fun, wasn't it? Oh my gosh.
I gotta see that. We gotta start recording though.
By the way, everything I said was 100% truthful too.
We're still recording.
No, we're not.